Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Anatomy and Physiology live stream. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll get started here in just a moment. How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are doing well. I would appreciate it if you guys gave the live a like. It'll just get out to more people. Today we're going to be going over some Anatomy and Physiology, HESI and T's review. It's also a great review for Anatomy and Physiology and whatnot. Basically just here to help everybody pass their upcoming HESI and T's and A&P exams. It's a great review for anybody who needs a little refresher on some anatomy and physiology topics as well. But we'll go ahead and get started here now. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the live stream. My name is Ollie. I do go live just about every day covering anatomy and physiology, pharmacology, pretty much anything that you guys do request. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do post these to YouTube afterwards. The one from yesterday is already posted on YouTube. That's linked in my bio. And the other thing that's linked in my bio are my notes and study guides to anatomy and physiology. I got an A in the class. I got 100% of my final exams. But we'll go ahead and get started here now. Everything can be found in my TikTok bio. Let's get started with number one. What chamber of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs? Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat a little bit here. Hello to everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Thanks for joining, everybody, and thanks for your participation in the live stream. Thanks for liking the live as well, guys. I really appreciate it. The more that you guys... we do notes for biomechanics. Yes, I am actually going through them, just double-checking them before I post them. Thank you. I'm glad you love my anatomy notes. Thank you. But yeah, I do have all of my notes for biomechanics. I just haven't had the time. I've been slowly going through them. There's some things, again, my professor skips over like some things here and there that I personally think that shouldn't have been skipped over. So I go through and I add it back in. 2 days until my T's. Good luck on your T's. But yeah, my biomechanic notes will be up fairly shortly, hopefully, as well as bio and chem. Yes, we do some chemistry problems sometimes, but just not today. Alright, number one. What chamber of the heart pumps away from the heart deoxygenated blood to the lungs? So when we go through our blood flow, we go from our right atrium into our left ventricle, and the left ventricle is what pumps blood to the lungs, where it can get oxygenated and it will return back through the left atrium, then through the left ventricle and then out to the rest of the body. So the answer here is D. It is the right ventricle. It pumps it through the pulmonary artery away from the heart to the lungs to get oxygenated. Number two, what type of blood vessel allows for the exchange of gases and nutrients between blood and tissues? Yes, these notes are available for everyone. Mountain, good afternoon. Professor Ollie, good afternoon to you. This is for HESI and T's. If you guys have any questions, I apologize. Sometimes I look at my screen and I write and I don't answer all the questions, or I answer all the questions that you guys put in there. But hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in if you're new here. I do go live just about every day, covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. The answer here is C. Capillaries are those tiny, thin-walled vessels that allow for oxygen and nutrients and waste to pass through between the blood and the tissue cells. Number three, which valve is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle? So if we are looking at our chambers here of our heart, what is between these two? I also post these live streams to YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio, and then my notes are also linked in my bio as well. Awesome. It is the tricuspid valve. It is C. Tricuspid valve separates the right atrium from the right ventricle. Basically, that prevents backflow. Number four, what is the function of the pulmonary arteries? What is the function of the pulmonary arteries? A great way to remember is try before you buy. Tricuspid before you bicuspid valve. I saw some people putting that in the chat as well. We are at number 4 now if you are just joining. And welcome. Welcome to everybody that's joining. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Number 4, what is the function of the pulmonary arteries? That is to carry, answer is pulmonary arteries. B, carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Pulmonary arteries are one of the only arteries, again we have the umbilical arteries, but in general, one of the only arteries that carries deoxygenated blood. Most arteries carry oxygenated blood. Pulmonary veins is the opposite. It's one of the only ones that carries oxygenated blood. Number 5, which of the following best describes the function of platelets? Which of the following best describes the function of platelets? Awesome. Yep, the answer is C. It is to help blood clot. Essentially, they are very important blood clotting. This is going to prevent excessive bleeding when you have some sort of injury to your tissue. 6, what is the name of the layer of muscle in the heart wall that is responsible for contractions? What is the name of the layer of What is the name of the layer of muscle in the heart wall responsible for contractions? Awesome. It is D. It is the myocardium. Number 7. Again, let's go over the layers real quick here. The myocardium is the muscular middle layer. The endocardium is this is the inner layer. The epicardium is the outer, and the pericardium is the sac that surrounds the heart. Number 7, which vessel carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart? If I miss any questions, I apologize. Sometimes I write on my screen and then I do miss them. Awesome, the answer is B. It is pulmonary vein. Just like we just talked about, pulmonary artery takes deoxygenated blood to the lungs to get oxygenated, and then pulmonary vein returns it back to the heart from the lungs while it's oxygenated. Number 8. What effect does the sympathetic nervous system have on the heart? I just took the test over this worst test I've taken so far. That's brutal. It really is a brutal one. That's for sure. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump my thing there. Again, hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. We are doing some anatomy and physiology review for HESI and TEAS. It's my cat saying hello. But my name is Ollie. I do go live every single day, covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request as well. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. And I do post these to YouTube. It's linked in my bio, as well as all my notes for the class. The answer to number 8 is B. It increases heart rate. The sympathetic stimulation will essentially activate the fight or flight response. This is going to increase heart rate and our force of contraction. Decreasing heart rate would be done by the parasympathetic nervous system, causing the heart to skip beats. That's just not normal. That's more related to something else, but not the sympathetic nervous system. Number 9. Where does the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occur in the lungs? Hi, cat, do not disturb. Yeah, sometimes I go over chemistry. These questions will be found on YouTube afterwards as well. If you want to take screenshots, they'll be on YouTube. I'll be on YouTube later tonight or tomorrow morning. Just because I want to keep this rolling so we don't just stay stuck on the same problems forever. Number 9. Where does exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occur in the lungs? The answer is C, the alveoli. The trachea is like our windpipe, just a passageway. Bronchi are the branches of the trachea, and bronchioles are those smaller airways that lead to the alveoli. So no exchange occurs in any of those. They pretty much just lead to the alveoli. Number 10, what structure prevents blood from flowing back into the right atrium? Number 10, what structure prevents blood from flowing backward into the right atrium? Again, if we are looking at our right atrium and right ventricle, so blood if coming backward, if going backward, since forward goes from right atrium to right ventricle, we'd go from right ventricle to the right atrium. What valve is there? This live does have replay. It is on YouTube. It's linked in my TikTok bio. The answer is tricuspid valve. And we're just going backwards, just like we talked about before. Tricuspid valve before you bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve would be over here. Tricuspid valve is here. Number 11, what is the primary function of the alveoli in the lungs? Oops. I think we kind of went over that question already. Yeah, I'll give you guys this one because we've already gone over this one. Is C, it is to exchange gases between air and blood. So again, we talked about that. The alveoli are those tiny sacs. This is where oxygen will diffuse into the blood and carbon dioxide will diffuse out. Number 12, which muscle is primarily responsible for inspiration, otherwise known as inhalation? Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. Oops, I think my screen is a little... There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Fix that a little bit. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the likes on the live as well. Number 12. The answer is B. It is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is the main primary muscle responsible for inspiration. Remember the intercostal muscles, they help with breathing, but is secondary to the diaphragm. The diaphragm, again, is the primary / main muscle that is responsible for this. This is literally my Anki deck for the MCAT. Awesome. It is good review for the MCAT as well. Number 13, what structure prevents food from entering the trachea during swallowing? Hello, everybody. My name is Ollie. If you're new here, I do go live every day. Hello. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. We are on number 13. The answer here is C. It is the epiglottis. The epiglottis is that like little flap of cartilage. It'll close over the trachea. When swallowing, this essentially prevents choking. The uvula prevents food from going into the nasal cavity, as well as the soft palate. And the larynx would be for basically holding our vocal cords. It doesn't necessarily block food directly, though. We're going to move on to number 14. What part of the brain controls the rate and depth of breathing? What part of the brain controls the rate and depth of breathing? We're going to do 40 in this live. A little shorter today. It's because it took me a little longer to go live today, and I don't have as much time. So today is 40. Normally I do like 60 questions, though. Tomorrow is definitely going to be 60 questions. I just got a little busy. I've been working on a YouTube video, actually, of how I take notes. And actually, hopefully, I'm really bad at editing videos for YouTube. I know YouTube video editing is a little different. I do review T's chemistry sometimes as well. I try to go live around like 12 or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The answer to number 14 is C. It is medulla oblongata. And the pons also. But they control the autonomic breathing patterns. And your autonomic ones, automatic, are going to be the depth and the rate. Again, think of it as involuntary. You don't have to think about it. It's automatic. Again, you can voluntarily do it, but again, it does happen involuntarily. Yes, I do have a video about the digestive system. Thank you, Evelyn, for the heart fingers. This is what we're going over right now in class. That's awesome. Great. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. Hello. We're moving on to number 15 now. Which of the following is the correct sequence of airflow into the respiratory system? Thank you, Laura, for the finger heart. I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are awesome. Thank you for following, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. Thank you, Belle. Thank you, Raymond, for the hearts and roses. Do I cover any medication dosage questions? I haven't yet, but I definitely will. Thank you, Danny, for the finger heart. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. It's awesome. I always love new faces around here as well. Awesome. Number 15, the answer is B. So let's talk about it. So we have our pharynx and our trachea. This is our windpipe. This branches into our bronchi, which goes and branches into smaller pathways as bronchioles, and then we go down to the alveoli. This is where our gas exchange occurs. A great mnemonic that I've always heard is, it is never punch little tiny babies before afternoon. The never is the nose, punch is the pharynx, little is the larynx, tiny is the trachea, the first B for babies is bronchi, bronchioles is the before, and afternoon is the alveoli. So this is the mnemonic that I would use to memorize the correct sequence of airflow into the respiratory system. It was never punch little tiny babies before afternoon. Honestly, sometimes I was able to get it down. I always had trouble with pharynx and larynx for some reason. I always got them mixed up. But never punch little tiny babies before afternoon. Always helped me remember the difference between those two. Larynx isn't on the answer, yes. But again, this is the mnemonic for just the overall airflow. Does that make sense why larynx is in here? My cat is trying to say hello again. I apologize. He's very talkative. But yeah, hopefully this is a good mnemonic. You need to be quiet. Number 16. What is the purpose of surfactant in the alveoli? Honestly, though, some people, if you don't really like the messier mnemonics, the messier, the more that you remember it. That's just kind of how it would be. Obviously, we're not going to punch tiny babies. That's just how it be, though. That's whatever helps you remember it, really. That's what I was given. It's what we were used, so that's what we roll with. Alrighty, number 16. What is the purpose of surfactant in the alveoli? What is the purpose of surfactant? The answer is C. It is to reduce surface tension and prevent alveolar collapse. So surfactant will coat the alveoli and prevent them from collapsing by reducing the surface tension, essentially of the fluid that lines it. Alrighty. 17. What happens to the diaphragm during exhalation? Exhalation, when we exhale. And hello to everybody that just joined. My name is Ollie. I do go live pretty much every day, covering anatomy and physiology and some other topics that you guys do request. We do pharmacology every Friday. And then I do post these to YouTube afterwards. If you join late or have to leave a little early or miss something, it's linked in my bio, as well as all my anatomy and physiology notes and study guides. I do have some other practice tests up there as well. This one isn't on my website right now. For right now, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. Thanks for all the follows, everybody, and thanks for all the likes on the live. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. I always love seeing new faces around here. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. The answer to number 17 is C. It relaxes and moves upward. So during exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward. So when we move upward, we are going to reduce the volume of the thoracic cavity or in our lungs. When we reduce the volume, we increase pressure. Increasing pressure is going to force air out. Think about what when you exhale, you're getting air out. Force air out. Answer choice A is inhalation. So we have inhalation. Inhalation is going to do the exact opposite. We're going to increase the volume of our thoracic cavity, which is going to decrease pressure, which is going to allow air in. It looks like elbow. Allow air in. So those are the key differences between those two. I'll just put a little orange one there just for stuffs and gigs. Number 18, which gas stimulates the respiratory center to increase the rate of breathing? I'm not working on respiratory specifically. We have like a couple questions for each chapter specifically. So I kind of move through different systems. Kind of just depends on what I put first. But right now we're working on the respiratory system, yes. But we will move to digestive system, and then I have endocrine system as well. So thank you for doing this. Thanks for joining. I love doing these. I'm more than happy to do them. This is for HESI and TEAS review. But again, it is a great review pretty much for anybody that has to do review for anatomy and physiology. So for whatever. If you have to know anatomy and physiology for whatever, this is great review. 18, which gas stimulates the respiratory center to increase the rate of breathing? The answer is D. It is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, so when you increase your carbon dioxide levels, it causes the medulla to signal faster breathing to expel carbon dioxide and maintain its pH. So if we want to increase our rate, what would happen is we have increased CO2 levels. Increased CO2 levels would cause a faster breath rate. We're just going to be BR for breath rate. And then this is going to basically help maintain pH. Number 19, in what structure does external respiration occur? This is pretty much a similar question as a gas exchange, but we've had multiple questions on this one. I think you guys are pretty solid on that. It's in the alveoli. External respiration occurs in the alveoli. Number 20, what is the function of the cilia lining the respiratory tract? What is the function of the cilia? Hi, Ollie, I didn't score high enough on my T's. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that. But definitely don't be down on yourself. They're very hard exams. Just keep up the hard work. You'll get it. Don't give up. It's hard stuff. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But I appreciate everybody following along. Thank you guys so much, and thanks for all the follows and the likes on the live. You guys are awesome. Number 20, what is the function of the cilia lining the respiratory tract? The answer is C. It is to move mucus and debris out of the airways. So cilia kind of move in sort of a rhythm to move mucus, and the mucus has trapped dust and pathogens. Basically helps it get it out of the lungs and nose and things like that. 21. Which organ is responsible for the final breakdown of food before absorption? What organ is responsible for the final breakdown of food before absorption? And I do post these to YouTube afterwards. Here's the name of my YouTube, but it is also linked in my TikTok bio. I'm actually going to be posting a YouTube video on how I take notes either later today or tomorrow. Kind of just depends. I'm almost done editing it. I need to get better at editing YouTube videos. It's definitely what's been holding it up so much. But we're on number 21. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome. We're on number 21 now. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go over anatomy and physiology on live streams every single day, covering other topics as well, like pharmacology we'll do on Fridays. But we're on number 21 now. The answer, again, the question was, which organ is responsible for the final breakdown of food before absorption? The answer is B. It is the small intestine. The small intestine, mainly the duodenum, is where most enzymatic digestion occurs. It is essentially going to break food down into the absorbable molecules. Enzymes basically come from the pancreas, and bile comes from the liver and gallbladder. Stomach, that's where protein digestion begins. The large intestine is where water absorption occurs. This is where we form like our feces. And the liver produces bile, so it does not break down food by itself. Number 22, what is the function of villi in the small intestine? What is the function of villi in the small intestine? Yes, thank you so much for taking this next one. This is perfect time. Awesome, great. Good luck next semester. Just took an exam on digestion system and vitamins. Awesome. Hopefully it went well. But yep, this will be on YouTube later today or tomorrow morning, and I do have another YouTube video on how I take notes coming out soon. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then I also have all of my notes and study guides available on my website as well. It's linked in my TikTok bio. Number 22, what is the function of villi in the small intestine? The answer is C. It is to absorb nutrients into the bloodstream. So villi are the finger-like projections in the small intestine. They're going to help increase surface area for absorption of nutrients. Peristalsis typically occurs, is done by like smooth muscle from movement. But villi are going to help increase the surface area. Villi are going to help increase the surface area. Awesome. Hell yeah. This is helpful. Awesome. I'm glad this is helpful. Thanks for letting me know. Number 23, which macronutrient does bile help to digest? Villi contain blood capillaries and lymphatic vessels as well. But the thing about it, you want to absorb as many nutrients as possible. The greatest way to do that is to increase the surface area. You would increase the amount of absorption that is going to occur. We are on number 23. Which macronutrient does bile help to digest? Take a sip of my drink here real quick. I'm having another Pepsi Cherry Zero. Pepsi Cherry Zero. If you can see, I don't want to spill any on my iPad. Awesome. Okay. The answer. So number 23. Which macronutrient does bile help to digest? The answer is fats. Bile is essentially going to emulsify fat into smaller droplets. So we take our fat, and then we have our bile, and then it is going to break it down into small little droplets, basically making it easier for lipase to come and break them down even further. Number 24, where does protein digestion begin? We kind of answered that in one of the other questions. But where does protein digestion begin? Supposed to be drinking water. I know. Free practice tests are on TikTok and YouTube. PFP, thank you. Oh, no, you're talking to me. Sorry, my bad. That's my favorite soda too. I should drink more water, yes. I don't though. Amylase and saliva, right? Yes, there's salivary amylase and there's pancreatic amylase. But number 24, the answer is B. So protein digestion begins in the stomach. This is done whenever it gets active into pepsin. Pepsin is going to break down protein. Number 25, which of the following structure... Oh, this is a repeat question. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Sometimes I take questions from a little bank that I have. Sometimes some repeat ones get in there. I apologize. Which of the following structures helps prevent food from entering the trachea? If anyone hasn't answered that already, I'll go through this really fast. It's the epiglottis. Number 26, which part of the digestive system is responsible for forming feces? So I had to make this pretty fast today, so I apologize. There's a repeat in there. But number 26, which part of the digestive system is responsible for forming feces? There's 40 questions today. It's a little bit shorter. The test will be on YouTube. It's linked in my YouTube is linked in my TikTok bio. The answer here is D. It is the large intestine, and this is because the small intestine absorbs all the nutrients. So in our small intestine, all the nutrients get absorbed. So all the nutrients. And then when it reaches the large intestine, we are going to reabsorb water plus electrolytes from the indigestible matter. And so when you take up the water and the electrolytes from it, it is going to form the more solid feces. Basically, it just compacts the digestive material into the feces to be excreted. Number 27, which enzyme digests fats into fatty acid and glycerol? Forty questions are a good idea for focus and concentration. Yeah, I normally do 60. 60 is kind of like, can be somewhere between like the live stream takes about an hour to 2 hours. And I kind of get, my throat starts to get scratchy after talking for that long too. So 60 has been like kind of my limit. I probably will never do more than 60 in a live stream. But normally they're anywhere between 30 and 60. Now, 27, which enzyme digests fats into fatty acids and glycerol? The answer is lipase. Remember, lipase has lip in it. So think lipid. Amylase breaks down carbohydrates. Trypsin, proteins. And then pepsin is also proteins like we talked about. Number 28, which part of the digestive tract follows the stomach? What part of the digestive tract? So again, it is part of the small intestine. What part comes first? Number 28. Well, the MVP. You guys are the real MVP here. You guys make this how it is. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you are just joining, welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live just about every day. I cover anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. We do pharmacology every Friday. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring it for about 5 years. I love anatomy and physiology. I love doing this. But I appreciate all the follows, everybody. You guys are awesome. Again, the replay of this, if you are just joining, will be on YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my TikTok bio, but here's my YouTube. I'm also uploading a video on there as well about how I make notes, either today or tomorrow. It's linked in my TikTok bio, as well as my notes and study guides for anatomy and physiology. I got an A in the class and 100% on my final exams. Number 28 is B. It is duodenum, or the duodenum, however you pronounce it. But is the first part of the small intestine. It immediately directly follows the stomach. This is the part that receives chyme and the enzymes. The ileum is the last part of the small intestine. So it's after the duodenum and the jejunum. Then it goes ileum, and then we go to our large intestine. A good way to remember from the ileum to the large intestine, the valve here that breaks that up is the ileocecal valve. So that's another way. You have to know what that valve is. That's a good way if you can't remember how to remember which part is last. Number 29, what is the purpose of mucus in the digestive tract? What is the purpose of mucus in the digestive tract? And again, if you've missed anything, this will be on YouTube afterwards. I have my respiratory and digestive system exam tomorrow. Good luck, Diana. What day will I cover the urinary system? I did the urinary system last week. I gotta see. I don't know if I uploaded that to YouTube. I did do it last week on Friday, I think. Or Thursday. One of the two. But I will do another one here soon. I do take live requests via my email. It's Medze. It's also on my... my email's on my TikTok, but I won't keep writing it down. Yes, I've done the cardiovascular stuff yet. If I were you, I would definitely check my YouTube. My YouTube does have the title for whatever I've gone over so far. The answer here to 29 is B. It protects the lining and eases food movement. So again, the mucus coats and protects the lining of the digestive tract, basically from all the acids and the enzymes. It helps food move a little more smoothly, and basically just helps us for overall protection. But we are protecting from acids and enzymes, so it does not get broken down. Number 30, which layer of the gastrointestinal tract is responsible for peristalsis? Which layer of the GI tract is responsible for peristalsis? I have practice tests on my website. This particular one is not up there yet. I will be posting this to YouTube, though. Are doing pharmacology, respiratory meds? Yeah, we can do those as well on Friday. Number 30, which layer of the GI tract is responsible for peristalsis? The answer is C. The muscularis layer is what contains smooth muscle that is responsible for peristalsis. Peristalsis is that coordinated contraction that pushes food through the digestive system or gastrointestinal tract. The mucosa this is our innermost layer. It's more so for secretion, absorption. The submucosa is going to have our blood vessels and nerves. Serosa. This is our outermost layer. This is going to be more so for like structure plus protection. 31. Which gland is often referred to as the master gland of the endocrine system? Perfect review. I'm taking anatomy and physiology right now. Nice, cool, awesome, great. You can have access to these questions. I have links on my page. This particular live stream, the questions aren't up yet, but I do have it on YouTube. I will be on YouTube later tonight or tomorrow morning. If I miss any of your questions, feel free to repeat them. Sometimes I write on my screen and I miss stuff. We are on number 31 now. If you are new here, welcome. I do go live pretty much every day doing review. This particular stuff is AMP2, but we will be going over some AMP1 again here soon. Can I darken the letters? I don't think I can darken them anymore. They're already the darkest, I believe. But hello, welcome in everybody. We're on number 31. Which gland is often referred to as the master gland of the endocrine system? The answer is the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus is the master regulator. But the pituitary gland is the master gland mainly because it controls many of the other endocrine glands by releasing hormones that regulates their functions, like the TSH for thyroid, ACTH for adrenal, things like that. Number 32, what hormone is responsible for lowering blood glucose levels? And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I have been tutoring for about 5 years for anatomy and physiology. But we do go over live every single day covering topics that you guys request. Mainly anatomy and physiology, but we will be going over pharmacology on Friday. Awesome. Need to follow. Thank you. Stop, this triggered me. Sorry. Answer choice is B here. Insulin, think about it. Insulin is released by the pancreas. Essentially, it is responsible for controlling the uptake of glucose into cells. So when you uptake glucose into cells, you lower the blood sugar. Glucagon is going to raise blood glucose. Cortisol raises blood glucose in response to stress. Epinephrine also raises blood glucose during fight or flight. So adrenaline. So all three of these are going to increase blood glucose, which I always put as BG. 33, which gland secretes melatonin, which helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle? Awesome. Thanks for all the follows, everyone. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I always love the new faces around here. I try to go live around like 12 p.m. to like 1 p.m. starting time. Sometimes it's a little later depending on work, but I always try to go around lunchtime. Kind of depends on work, but I try to go live around that time every day. Sometimes it is a little later. But 33, which gland secretes melatonin? The answer is the pineal gland, C. The pineal gland is going to release melatonin, basically in response to darkness. This is what is going to influence our circadian rhythm. The thyroid gland is for metabolism. Adrenal gland releases our stress hormones. Parathyroid gland is more for calcium. 34, what is the main function of parathyroid hormone? So we did talk about calcium, but what specifically does it do for calcium? Thinking of you now. Thanks for the help. Yes, no problem. I'm sorry. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, my bad. So it should be Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow will be between 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Thanks for the vid. So where is the pineal gland? So the pineal gland is more so like deeper in the center of the brain. It's in the epithalamus, which is part of like the diencephalon. It's like kind of like above and posterior to like the midbrain. It's more like at the center of the brain. I don't really have a picture right now, but it's part of like kind of near the center. The answer choice number 34. What is the main function of the parathyroid hormone? The answer is C. It is going to increase blood calcium. So PTH, it will increase blood calcium levels by promoting calcium release from bones through osteoclasts. Remember, osteoclasts break down bone. Osteoclasts, the C for chew, break down bone. And also reabsorption in the kidneys and intestines. It'll start reabsorbing more. In tests. Those are the main mechanisms. Lowering blood calcium is caused by calcitonin. So that would be the opposite one of that. Regulating metabolism, that would be the thyroid hormones jobs, like T3, T4. Stimulating insulin secretion, that is unrelated to the parathyroid hormone. Number 35, which hormone stimulates the production of breast milk after childbirth? Hello, everybody. Welcome in here, guys. Welcome in. We're going over some anatomy and physiology for HESI and T's. Just a good anatomy and physiology review. It's for the HESI and T's, but this is fantastic review for anybody that has to basically study up on their anatomy and physiology. I do post these to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my TikTok bio. But it's also my name here. I'll put it right here. This is my YouTube. I'm going to be posting a YouTube video as well on how I take notes soon, so stay tuned for that. It's my first, or not really my first one, but I'm still getting used to making YouTube videos and whatnot. Alrighty. Number 35. We're on number 35 now for those who are just joining. And again, I do go live pretty much every day as well. Covering A&P and other topics that you guys request. The answer is C, prolactin. So here's the difference between prolactin and oxytocin. This is, here, let's explain. So prolactin, let's start off. This is going to promote milk production, so producing the milk. Oxytocin is responsible for the ejection of milk, so ejecting it. So it doesn't. So oxytocin does not produce it; it ejects it. Prolactin promotes milk production. Estrogen is more so for breast development. Progesterone will help prepare the breasts during pregnancy, but not necessarily the sort of thing with milk secretion. Does that help with the difference between those two before I move on real quick? I always think of like, I don't know, like oxytocin has an O in it. Like think of pro, so pro, it means like proactive, means like beforehand. So I always thought of like before it's, being proactive, making sure the milk's ready for the baby. And then, the babies come, we need the milk. That's how I always remembered that. So proactive, we got to get the milk ready before the baby's born. The baby's here, we need the milk. 36, the adrenal medulla produces which of the following hormones? O is out. Yes, that's also a good way. Yes. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I always love new faces. I appreciate you joining our little community here. All we're trying to do is help everyone get better exam grades and just make this stuff easier and just get some good review in. Get some good reviews so we make sure we know the foundations so that we can use it for application when we have to answer those questions. But again, the big thing here is we have the adrenal medulla, but we also have the cortex. So we have the medulla and the cortex. We'll talk about the difference here. But the answer choice to number 36, the adrenal medulla produces which of the following hormones? The adrenal medulla produces epinephrine and norepinephrine. But in response to stress or fight or flight response, cortisol is by the cortex. Cortisol goes to cortex. So COR, cortex, or cortex, cortisol. It's more for stress and metabolism. That's how I always remember the difference between those two. Aldosterone comes from the adrenal cortex, so this also comes from the adrenal cortex. Then thyroxine, we already know, is from the, I can't write, thyroid gland, but yes, thyroid gland. 37. Which hormone helps regulate the body's metabolic rate? Which hormone helps regulate the body's metabolic rate? Oh my god, I have a physiology exam in 49 minutes. Oh my goodness, good luck on your exam. The master gland is the pituitary gland. So I need this anatomy as a first responder. Awesome. Glad you're becoming a first responder. We always need first responders. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request. We do pharmacology and things like that, anything that you guys really request. But I try to cover everything as much as possible here. Thank you, Patty, for the rose. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. You guys are awesome. I do post these reviews to YouTube as well. It is linked up here. This is my YouTube. It's linked in my TikTok bio. And the other thing that's linked in my TikTok bio... Oh, thanks for the 4 peppers, Patty. I appreciate you. Oh my god, I should have discovered this when I took my anatomy exam yesterday. But I also have my anatomy and physiology notes. Thank you, Belina, for the roses. I appreciate you. I also have my anatomy and physiology notes and study guides for when I was in the class. Thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate you. In my bio as well. Those are in my bio as well. The 37, which hormone is going to help regulate the body's metabolic rate? The answer here is thyroxine T4. T4 is made by our thyroid gland. It is going to increase our metabolic rate, pretty much of nearly all our bodily cells. Number 38, which gland secretes growth hormone? Which gland secretes growth hormone? I took the T7, and these questions are 100% accurate. Awesome, I'm glad. trying to make questions that'll help you review for it. That's all really trying to do here. Just really want to help you guys review and make things easier to understand, and just quick little memorizing things. Oh, awesome. I passed my T's yesterday. Thank you. 83, 85, 82, 81. Awesome. Congratulations, Lulu. Can we get a congratulations for everybody in the chat who's been passing their exams? That'd be great. We love a little supportive community here as well. Definitely what I'm trying to put together. Currently in AMP2 right now. Awesome. Good luck in AMP2. Number 38. Which gland secretes growth hormone? The answer is C. It is the pituitary gland. The growth hormone, or GH, is secreted by the anterior. So again, the anterior pituitary. You should know the difference between what hormones are produced in the anterior versus the posterior pituitary. This is going to stimulate growth, more so for bones and muscles. 39. Which of the following glands is located in the neck? Which of the following glands is located in the neck? Great question about the difference between T4 and T3. So they're both thyroid hormones. They work together in a sense. So T3 is triiodothyronine. It has 3 iodine atoms. T4 has 4 iodine atoms. T3 is the active form of the hormone that binds to receptors in your cell and directly affects the metabolism. T4 is the inactive version of it. It gets converted into T3 when it's needed. It's still active, but it's less active, but it's more abundant. But T3 is way more potent, so that's what gets used the most. But the thyroid gland produces way more T4 than T3. But T3 is made by converting T4 into T3 in like the liver and kidneys. These are similar questions, not exactly, but 39. Which of the following glands is located in the neck? The answer is B. It is the thyroid. Thyroid gland is in your neck. Wraps around your trachea in a way, in like your neck area. Controls your metabolism, we just talked about. Number 40. What is the role of antidiuretic hormone ADH? What is the role of antidiuretic hormone ADH? Oh, you're going to present your thesis. Awesome. Good luck on your thesis. This is a perfect refresher. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad it is. Awesome. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and things like that. I appreciate you guys a lot. Number 40, last question here, is promote water retention in the kidneys. Antidiuretic hormone comes from, so it gets made in the hypothalamus. It gets released by the posterior pituitary. It causes the kidneys specifically to reabsorb water. Essentially what's going to happen here is we are going to concentrate urine. Alrighty. That was all the questions that I did have planned today. That's awesome. My references, I would check on my recommendations on my website. Tell your cat hi. I would definitely will. He loves the attention. So, again, if you are new here, this is the end of the live stream. I will be posting this to YouTube afterwards. My YouTube is linked in my TikTok bio, but here it is. I will be posting an actual video on how I take notes, so definitely look at that. My website is Medzig, where you can find my notes for anatomy and physiology and other whatever I have up. I do go live pretty much every day. Thank you, so glad I found you. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you found me as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, friends. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you, King. Ollie London. Oh, my name is Ollie, too. If you are new here, my name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I will be live again tomorrow. I should be back somewhere between 12 and 1 p.m. If there's any requests, my email is in my bio. A final soon. This is really helping all the way from Trinidad. Awesome. Great. I'm glad it's helping. Pharmacology will be on Friday. I have not decided what pharm meds we'll be going over yet. Someone requested respiratory ones, so those will probably be mixed in there. This will be on Friday. The time will probably be noon on Friday. Eastern Standard Time. Everything is Eastern Standard Time. Any other quick questions? I do have to get going here really fairly shortly. That's why the live stream is a little shorter today. But were there any quick questions here? Reproductive system. Yes, we can go over some reproductive system questions. Reproductive pharmacology or just questions in general? Any questions in general or? In general, gotcha. Alrighty, you guys. That is it. I am going to get going here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. Here it is. It's also in my bio. I do have a video about how to study the hormones. It's a little farther down, but I do have an endocrine playlist, I believe. My notes are available in my bio as well. These are linked in my bio on TikTok here. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.